Let me be clear with you right now, 2026 is not a calendar change. It's a personal declaration. Too many people step into a new year hoping things will magically shift, praying circumstances improve, wishing motivation shows up. But hope without decision is just delay dressed up in positive language. If you're serious about 2026, you have to decide, right now, that this year is non-negotiable. No backup plan, no emotional exit door, no "I'll try." You decide that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, no matter who doesn't understand you, you are not turning back. Because the truth is, the life you want is on the other side of decisions you've been avoiding. You already know what you need to stop doing. You already know what you need to start doing. The problem hasn't been knowledge, it's been commitment. You've been negotiating with your excuses, listening to the voice that says, just one more day, just one more year, when things calm down, but life doesn't calm down. You rise up, and 2026 demands that you rise with intention. This is the year you stop letting your emotions run the show. Some mornings you won't feel confident. Some days you'll feel tired before you even start. Some nights you'll question if it's worth it. And that's exactly why the decision has to be made now, before those moments arrive. When the decision is already settled, feelings lose their power. You don't wake up asking, should I work today? You wake up knowing, this is who I am now. That's the difference between people who change temporarily and people who transform permanently. Deciding 2026 is non-negotiable means you stop lowering the standard to match your comfort. You raise your actions to match your vision. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start operating in imperfect ones. You don't need more time, you need more resolve. You don't need someone to save you, you need to take responsibility, because nobody is coming to hand you discipline, consistency, or confidence. Those are built in the quiet moments when quitting would be easier. And let's be honest, some people around you are comfortable with the old version of you. They benefit from you staying small, staying available, staying predictable. When you decide 2026 is different, not everyone will clap. Some will question you. Some will test you. Some will remind you of who you used to be. But the decision is what keeps you grounded. You don't argue. You don't explain. You execute. Because your future doesn't need approval from your past. This isn't about being perfect. You'll stumble. You'll have off days. But non-negotiable doesn't mean flawless. It means relentless. It means when you fall, you don't stay down and start doubting the decision. You get back up because quitting is no longer an option you entertain. You move differently when failure is feedback, not a finish line. So before the year changes, before the pressure hits, before the excuses get loud, decide. Decide that 2026 is the year you stop surviving and start building. Decide that comfort no longer controls your choices. Decide that your future deserves consistency, not convenience. Make the decision once, and let it carry you through everything that tries to stop you. Now let's talk about what's really going to carry you through 2026, because motivation won't. Motivation is emotional, and emotions change. Some days you'll wake up on fire, feeling unstoppable. Other days you'll wake up heavy, tired, questioning everything. If your success depends on how you feel, you've already lost. Discipline is what shows up when motivation disappears. Discipline is what keeps moving when the excitement is gone and nobody is watching. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't beg for attention. It's built in the small, boring decisions you make every single day. It's choosing to get up when your body wants to stay down. It's choosing to work when distractions feel more appealing. It's choosing progress when comfort is calling your name. And let me be honest, This part is not glamorous. There are no applause breaks for consistency, no crowd cheering for repetition. But this is where separation happens. You don't become disciplined overnight. You become disciplined by doing what you said you would do, even when it feels inconvenient. Especially when it feels inconvenient. Discipline is a muscle. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, it gets stronger. Every time you break one, it gets weaker. And for too long, many people have trained the habit of quitting. 2026 is where that ends. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Talent won't save you. Intelligence won't save you. Potential definitely won't save you. There are people with half your ability living twice the life because they mastered discipline. They don't wait to feel ready. They don't wait to feel inspired. They move because movement is who they are. They understand that consistency beats intensity every single time. Discipline is also about structure. You can't wing your way into a new life. You need routines that support the vision you've committed to. Early mornings that build focus. Daily actions that compound over time. Boundaries that protect your energy. When your life has structure, your emotions don't get to decide your effort. You already decided, and don't confuse discipline with punishment. Discipline is self-respect. It's saying, my future matters more than this moment. It's choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term relief. Every time you say no to what's easy, you're saying yes to who you're becoming. That's power. That's control. That's growth. There will be days in 2026 when quitting feels logical, when slowing down feels justified, when nobody would blame you for stopping. Those are the days discipline matters most, because discipline doesn't argue. It doesn't explain, it just executes. It says, we're doing this anyway. And over time, those days stack up. The work adds up, the results start speaking for you. One day, people will ask how you stayed consistent, how you didn't burn out, how you kept going when it got hard, and the answer won't be flashy. It'll be simple. You stopped relying on motivation, and you built a discipline that refused to let you quit. Let me say this clearly, because this part is uncomfortable for a lot of people. If you want a new level in 2026, you cannot keep the same environment and expect a different outcome. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones, and it definitely doesn't happen in spaces that keep feeding the old version of you. You might love the people around you, you might have history with them, but history alone cannot build your future. Your environment shapes your mindset more than your intentions ever will. What you hear every day, what you watch every day, who you talk to every day, it all programs you. If you're surrounded by doubt, excuses, negativity, and small thinking, don't be surprised when your progress feels heavy. You're not weak. You're influenced, and in 2026, you have to be brave enough to admit that some environments don't challenge you, they contain you. Outgrowing your environment doesn't mean you think you're better than anyone. It means you're honest about where you're going. And sometimes where you're going requires distance from where you've been. Some conversations won't fit anymore. Some habits won't align anymore. Some rooms will feel too quiet because you're no longer entertained by distractions. That's not loneliness. That's elevation. Here's the hard truth. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. Some people benefit from you staying the same. When you change, it forces them to look at what they're avoiding. So they'll joke about your discipline, question your goals, remind you of old mistakes, not because they hate you, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. And you have to be strong enough to keep moving without needing their approval. Protecting your environment means protecting your inputs. What are you feeding your mind first thing in the morning? What voices are you listening to when you're tired? What content are you consuming when you need focus? You can't expect clarity while surrounding yourself with noise. You can't expect confidence while constantly absorbing doubt. In 2026, your mindset becomes sacred. You guard it like your life depends on it because it does. This also means learning how to spend time alone without feeling empty. Because sometimes growth feels quiet. Sometimes it feels like nobody sees you. But that solitude is where you build strength. That's where discipline deepens. That's where vision gets clear. You don't always need a crowd. Sometimes you just need space to become who you said you wanted to be. And don't worry, this season won't last forever. New environments come with new versions of you, new conversations, new standards, new opportunities. But you don't meet those by clinging to what's familiar. You meet them by having the courage to let go. If 2026 is going to be different, your environment has to change with you, because you can't rise while constantly being pulled back. Now this is where everything comes together, because execution is the difference between people who talk about change and people who live it. You can have vision, you can have discipline, you can even have the right environment, but if you don't execute, none of it matters. And execution doesn't mean someday, it means now. It means moving like time is real, because it is. Every day you delay, you're spending something you can never get back. Too many people are waiting to feel ready, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for confidence to magically appear. But confidence is built in motion, not in thought. You don't get clarity before you move. You get clarity because you moved. In 2026, you stop overthinking and start acting. You stop rehearsing the plan and start living it out. Imperfect action will always beat perfect intention. Execution is urgency without panic. It's understanding that your window is open right now, not later. It's treating each day like it matters, because it does. Small actions done daily compound faster than people realize. A single focused hour every day beats a burst of effort once a month. Consistency is how momentum is built, and momentum changes everything. There will be days when execution feels heavy, when progress feels invisible, when you're doing the work, but the results haven't caught up yet. That's where most people stop. They assume it's not working. They assume they're behind. But what they don't understand is that results lag behind effort. What you do today might not show up tomorrow, but it will show up eventually, and the ones who win are the ones who keep executing while others quit in the waiting phase. Executing like time is running out also means eliminating distractions. You can't afford to be busy with things that don't move you forward. Not everything deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your time. In 2026, you become intentional. You start asking, does this align with where I'm going? If the answer is no, you let it go without guilt. Focus is a form of respect for your future. And let's talk about fear, because execution exposes you. When you act, you risk failure, you risk judgment, you risk looking foolish, but fear doesn't disappear when you wait. It grows. The fastest way to quiet fear is to move anyway. Action shrinks doubt. Movement builds belief. Every step forward reminds you that you're capable of more than you thought. Execution is also about finishing what you start, not jumping from idea to idea, not chasing every new wave of excitement, but staying locked in long enough to see progress through. In 2026, you stop quitting on yourself. You stop restarting the same goals. You decide that this time you're going all the way. Because one day, sooner than you think, you'll look back and realize it wasn't one big moment that changed everything. It was daily execution, repeated without excuses. And when time asks what you did with your chance, you'll have an answer.